Hi guys, it's been a little while once again, and rather than just continuing to upload and then taking a few months off, I thought I'd just make a video so that we're kind of all in the same loop, and I can explain why I was away for so long and why I've been so inconsistent. I know I don't have a super high number of subscribers, but from the times I've taken off and then returned, I do notice the same people commenting, so I like to think that there are some viewers who have stuck by me and watched some of my content, so I do appreciate that, and I feel like I should address why I have been away and so inconsistent this past year and a half, I would say. Alongside this, I also want to discuss my year ahead and what that could mean for this channel, etc. But yeah, we'll just get into it rather than leaving some vague descriptions. So looking at my channel here, around the time of my Spider-Man ranking after Across the Spider-Verse came out, I then disappeared for around 8 months, no warning, just kind of stopped uploading, and where I did return with a June ranking after June Part 2 was released. Now, looking at that, I uploaded several videos after that before then going dark again, before returning for one video, the Avatar: The Last Airbender, for disappearing for 3 months. Now, in those videos where I did return, I did slightly address some things, but I feel like it's best just to do it all in one video. I started this channel in 2020, March to be precise, and if that month and year combination rings a bell, that is when COVID started taking over the world. I started this channel when England was in a countrywide lockdown, so naturally that left me with unlimited amounts of time where I really picked up my love for film and reviewing films and wanted to express that, so naturally I came here alongside writing reviews on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes and LETTERBOXD. I was loving it, I was in the swing of things, every day you can wake up and make another video or two. It was just a great time as someone who's very introverted till this day, but a lot more so then. It was, perfect. Obviously not ideal given that, I was deprived of seeing my friends and doing activities outside, but it allowed me to really hone in on this new hobby that I had, and to be honest, new passion that I had. Now, ever since COVID has very much eased around the world, naturally the world has opened up for everyone to start doing more things, have new experiences, go back to work. Well, for me, it was the first time that I actually started working, so while I was keeping up with the same uploads, because I used to do reviews as well as ranking videos, as I started to work, even though it was quite part-time, I was noticing I wouldn't hit the deadlines as well, and maybe I'd have to miss a few videos here because I just didn't have the time. Now, fast forward a few years, I am still at that job, but I have taken on a more senior role as well as picked up plenty more hours weekly, so naturally I don't have as much time as I used to have, especially compared to a lockdown. But my passion for reviewing films has only grown stronger. Every film that I've watched since I opened my Letterboxd account, I have reviewed. Not one has been missed, which can create quite a big backlog if I watch a lot of videos in a small amount of time, because I like to be in the right state of mind and right environment to write my reviews. But yes, a few years ago is when I decided to scrap making the review videos and focus purely on the ranking videos, which is where my channel name actually changed from TT Reviews to TT Ranks, because I was purely doing rankings after that. And that's because I just couldn't keep up with the amount I was distributing in comparison to before. Unfortunately, it was taking over a lot of my life, my social life, where I was doing it for the sake of it because I had done that before. Now, that's not to say I don't want to do it. It was just too much in one go. In my ideal world, there'll be more hours in a day and more days in a week, so I could live up to what I used to do, but I just simply can't. And not to mention, I like to think once I swapped to those ranking videos, I put more efforts, created better content, let's say. I learned more about editing, just terminology when reviewing films in general, so I feel like those improved overall. It was a case of quality over quantity, and that's what I still want to do now. Basically, this is me announcing my return to the channel and trying to keep up with a strict schedule, and hopefully being able to add some more videos in the mix as well. But there are some road bumps along the way which I also wanted to address in this video. So following this video, I've always made like a schedule of what films I need to watch by when, leading up to a big release, so I can create a ranking video around the time of the new film's release, if that makes sense. And on my calendar, the new big releases, we have Captain America Brave New World coming out, we have Dexter Original Sin concluding the TV show, as well as Cobra Kai concluding. They all kind of release, well, the final episodes and Captain America release around the same date, which is around Valentine's Day. So I do want to plan my return, but unfortunately those first few major releases coincide with my holiday to Portugal, which is only about 5 days long, but 3 of those products drop in that time, so I'll not be able to upload them then around the time they release, but I will definitely get around to releasing them after I'm back. And then after that, I do plan to go back to how I used to be with a consistent upload schedule, which I have already mapped out. With my schedule up here, it leaves us with Osgood Perkins, the movie director. I'll do a movie ranking of all his films after The Monkey is released, and then after that we'll have the Best Picture nominees from the Oscars. I'll rank those as well, as those were recently announced and the Oscars will be held at the beginning of March. Following that in April, we don't have too many major franchise releases, so I'll be covering 2 more directors with Bong Joon-ho and Ryan Coogler before May, where I tackle a big one which I haven't done in many years, so it's only gotten bigger, the MCU, then followed by a franchise I've never watched before, Final Destination, then Mission Impossible, and then The Karate Kid. Now, following that, this is where things get a bit frustrating for this channel, but also a great opportunity for myself. As I mentioned, I am quite an introverted person, a lot better than I used to be, but I'm very much comfortable with what I have already and don't experience too many new things. But ultimately, I don't want to always be like that. I want to experience new things, get out of my comfort zone, and just kind of become a more independent person, so to speak. So an opportunity has arrived for me to go travelling for a few months with my friends, where I would leave the UK in June, early June to be precise. Now, a bunch of you are probably like, oh, that's such a cliche and basic thing to do, you know, go travelling, but while I do know a lot of people who are doing it, I feel like it is a great opportunity, and as someone of my age, that opportunity won't be around for ages. So the plan is from June all through to September, I'll be in Australia, Thailand, Bali, maybe Vietnam, and probably Japan. So I'm experiencing a load of new countries. Australia I've already lived in before, and Bali I visited when I was very young, but it'll be a great experience at this age and being more independent with my friends. But frustratingly, as someone who wants to get this channel back up and running and to the best of its ability, better than before, obviously those 4 months are the crucial ones of the year where you get some of the big blockbusters, meaning I'll have to miss some very big videos, which is frustrating, you know. Even when I couldn't find the time to create a video in the past for a ranking, I was always frustrated that I couldn't cover something. So this is very frustrating for me. Ultimately, as I said, it's probably for the best for me as a person. But that is not to say those 4 months are going to be another hiatus from myself, and they're not going to be another long, quiet few months. Now, I would love to say this is a guarantee and I'm going to try my hardest, but I'm not sure if I will be able to, but I'm definitely going to try. Within those 4 months, I'm going to try and pre-record and edit several videos so that I can kind of, you know, provide something to watch of my channel in those months away, rather than, as I said, just being quiet. Now, obviously, as I'm pre-recording this, I won't know what the new releases will be like. I can't review them because I can't look into the future. So I will not be covering those films, but I will be covering some retro franchises, whether that's you know, a film franchise from long ago, or just, you know, something which has had a recent addition into it, but I've failed to cover it in the past. I have a list, I won't show it yet, but I do have a list of films that I could cover, sorry, franchises that I could cover, so I'll keep an eye on those and maybe slot them in those months away. But pre-recording a lot of videos is going to be a challenge, but I'm definitely going to attempt it. And then once I am back, which I said should be September time, I will try and cover those films that I missed, because I definitely want to talk about them. I don't expect these to perform as well in terms of views, but to be honest, that's fine. This channel was pretty much started just so I can express my opinions on films and TV. So the views don't bother me too much. Obviously, a well-viewed video is a nice feeling, but ultimately I'm still satisfied if I can get the video out. So after my travels, I want to properly get back into this channel with no distractions, no pre-recording of anything. Maybe if I go on holiday for like a week or two, I can pre-record something then. Yeah, I just really miss doing this. You know, I haven't had the time for it, but I did feel sad that I wasn't able to continue this for a few months. Where it becomes so hard to keep up with things is actually watching all the content. Now, I may overstuff my schedule to watch so many films. It just became too much because, as I said, I have this schedule and it's quite demanding. And where it is demanding, you know, I don't always feel like watching a film every single day. Sometimes I do, but other times I just don't have the time. You know, maybe that's working long hours or being busy for the whole day. So I don't always have the time to stick to this schedule. And not to mention, when I have this massive schedule of films to watch, it means I don't have the opportunity to watch more indie films, you know, films that aren't attached to a franchise or a film that isn't going to be in a video. You know, I don't get as much freedom to watch, whereas I did in these few months off. So I'm going to try and find a nice balance for that, because I love watching all kinds of films and every genre is appreciated. You know, even if I don't like it, it's still appreciated because it's expanding my knowledge on films. I'm getting new experiences, so then I can kind of cross-reference and, you know, think about things overall. So it will be a challenging time after my travels, but I'm going to try my best to be consistent, and by putting this video out and trying to promise that, I'll feel guilty if I don't. So hopefully that's motivation, if not guilt tripping. But where it also will be challenging is after these travels, I will not be returning to that same job I've had for the past 3.5 years, which was actually my first proper job. So I will have to find something new, which, as I said, will be a challenge in itself, and a big adjustment. So it'll definitely be a tough few months, but I'm hoping I can really, you know, chuck myself into this and become really immersed and back into the swing of things, because once you break out of the routine, it gets very hard to get back into it. So I'm really going to try my best because I just really enjoy it. And as I said, I just wish there was more time so I could properly commit to it, but I haven't had that recently. But I'm going to try and make that now going forward. But yeah, as I said, I've been a heavy user of Letterboxd over the past few years, so my love for film is still very much there, so I can only imagine it being a smooth transition back onto the camera, talking about them rather than writing them out. I can't lie, it does feel weird filming now. You know, it feels, I don't know, I feel rusty, but that will only improve the more I keep uploading. So yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to talk about. I don't know how long this video will be, and hopefully, you know, it goes to the right people who have been supporting my channel for the past few years, who I do really appreciate. But yeah, hopefully I can, you know, pick things up again. But yeah, just so you're aware that there are parts of the year where I won't be at this desk. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year, but I'm hoping it'll be a positive and successful one. So yeah, after this video, as I said, I'll be back for some delayed videos, Captain America, Dexter, Cobra Kai, those ones, before several other ones while we get back into the swing of things. And then those few months away, I'll have hopefully pre-recorded videos of older franchises. I can give you one example that comes to mind instantly is the Jaws franchise. You know, hasn't had an entry in the past God knows how long, but I've watched the whole franchise recently enough to give a good ranking. You know, I've got all my reviews on Letterboxd, so that'll be around the corner. But yes, I appreciate all the support and the patience as well. So here's to 2025, and thank you for watching.